The frontier station of Astra, 12 was never quiet. Not even at 3 in the morning cycle. Its metallic corridors hummed with the endless vibration of life support turbines, gravity generators, and the distant rumble of merchant freighters docking and undocking like bees in a hive. But engineer Jace Harlow was determined to get at least 4 hours of sleep before his morning shift. He stripped off his grease-stained jacket, tossed it onto the room's single chair, and ran a hand through his hair. It had been a long cycle. The plasma coils had overloaded twice, the solar array was coughing out fluctuations, and one of the docking clamps had snapped clean off from metal fatigue. Jace had patched everything together with limited supplies and even more limited patience. He kicked off his boots, dimmed the lights, and collapsed onto his bunk. That was when the door hissed open. Jace jerked upright. Hello. A silhouette stepped inside with slow, confident grace. The door slid closed behind her, sealing them in with a soft thud. The woman was tall, easily 6 feet, with shimmering violet skin that caught the dim light like polished glass. Her white hair floated around her head as though underwater, and her golden eyes glowed faintly in the dark. An alien. Not just any alien either. By the intricate silver sigils marking her temples, she was Valerian, a species known across the sector for their psionic abilities, strict protocols, and lethal combat proficiency. Jace swallowed hard. I think you're in the wrong room. The alien woman smiled. Slowly. Deliberately. With a confidence that prickled across his skin. No, human, she said, her voice like soft chimes. I am exactly where I should be. Jace's heart stuttered. Are you sure? Because unless you're here to fix cooling regulators or complain about our water filters, you must have taken a wrong turn. She took a step toward him. Your humor is noted. And unnecessary. He inched back until he hit the wall. Great. He was about to die in his pajamas. But the alien didn't attack. Instead, she reached into the folds of her silver garment and withdrew a small, shimmering data crystal. She set it on the table. I am Captain Lyra Ver Al, envoy of the Valerian Ascendancy, she said. My ship was attacked 3 hours ago. We barely escaped with our lives. I came here for one reason, Jace Harlow. His name on her lips shocked him into silence. How do you know who I am? Her golden eyes flickered. Because you are the only engineer in this system who can stop what is coming. The room seemed to shrink around him. Stop what? Lyra met his gaze. War. Jace spent the next 10 minutes pacing his room, running a hand over his face, and regretting every life choice that had led him to this moment. Lyra sat calmly on his bunk, hands folded, watching him with the stillness of a statue carved from light. Finally, he exhaled. Okay. Start from the beginning. Lyra nodded. 3 cycles ago, the Ascendancy received a distress signal from the edge of the Serion Rift. We believed it to be a scientific outpost requesting aid. Instead, we found an abomination. Jace frowned. Define abomination. Because last week I saw a man eat dehydrated noodles with ketchup, and that came close. It was a machine, she said. One older than either of our civilizations. One built for assimilation, consumption, and replication. He felt a chill crawl up his spine. Like a hive unit? Lyra shook her head. Not a hive. A swarm. She activated the data crystal. A hologram burst into life. Grainy, blue-tinted, flickering with static. Jace saw a rotating metallic sphere roughly the size of a shuttle, covered in razor-thin appendages. Its core pulsed with an eerie white light, and as it moved, it carved through rock, metal, and living organisms alike. It eats everything, Lyra murmured. Matter is its fuel. Energy is its breath. And intelligence is its hunger. Jace stepped closer, mesmerized. You fought that thing? No, her voice dimmed. We fled. It destroyed our outpost in minutes. And when we scanned deeper into the planet, we found hundreds more. Dormant, buried beneath the crust, waiting. Jace scratched his head. Okay, but what does that have to do with me? Lyra rose, her presence suddenly overwhelming. Because the machine's designs match blueprints found on Astra 12's restricted archive. Blueprints your station never created, but somehow possesses. Someone has awakened the swarm. And unless the sequence is reversed, the machines will awaken across the galaxy. Jace blinked. Wait. Someone here triggered them. Lyra nodded grimly. And they will do so again. Unless we find them. He understood now. Lyra wasn't here by accident. She wasn't here because of fate. She was here for a mission. A dangerous one. Jace rubbed the back of his neck. All right. So we've got ancient planet-eating swarm machines and a potential saboteur on the loose. What's the plan? Lyra stepped close enough that he could see faint star-like patterns across her skin. We find the saboteur. We retrieve the activation sequence. And we prevent the destruction of every world within 3 jumps. Jace nodded slowly. This was so far above his pay grade. But he didn't walk away. They left his room quietly, moving through the metallic arteries of Astra 12. Night cycle lights cast long blue shadows over the walkways. A few engineers tinkered with open panels, but most of the station slept. Lyra walked with confident, feline steps. Jace trailed beside her, trying not to look suspicious. So, he whispered, how exactly do you plan to find our saboteur? I can sense psionic residue, she said. The one who accessed the archives did so with intent. Intent leaves traces. He blinked. Psychic fingerprints. Cool. Terrifying but cool. As they approached the lower decks, Lyra raised a hand.
Stop. Jace froze. Lyra's eyes narrowed. The saboteur is near. A sudden boom shook the hallway. Lights flickered. An alarm howled through the station. Jace cursed. That came from the engine bay. They sprinted down the corridor. Smoke billowed from a ruptured door. Through it, Jace saw a shadowy figure sprint toward the maintenance hatch. Hey! Jace shouted. The figure turned, just long enough for Jace to glimpse a pair of glowing red cybernetic eyes. Then the figure vanished into the hatch. Lyra leapt after them, but the hatch slammed shut. We cannot chase them, she said, but we can stop their damage. Jace pushed past her, dropping to his knees beside the engine console. Sparks erupted from the panel. His hands moved on muscle memory, ripping open access compartments and rerouting connectors. He tasted blood in his mouth. The saboteur had planted a recursive overload, a chain reaction that would blow the station in minutes. Talk to me, Lyra urged. What are you doing? Preventing us from becoming cosmic dust. Jace yelled. Hold that panel open. Lyra complied effortlessly, her strength surprising him. Jace's fingers flew across the console, punching in emergency overrides, cutting power to the magnetic coils, and manually diverting the plasma stream. Sweat dripped down his forehead. Almost there, almost. He slammed the final sequence. The engine bay hummed, then stabilized. The alarm cut out. Jace collapsed backward, panting. Lyra knelt beside him. You prevented annihilation. He grinned weakly. Yeah, I'm full of surprises. But then she frowned. Jace, look. A symbol was burned into the wall. Fresh, glowing faintly. It was a circular insignia with 3 jagged lines branching from its core. Jace's stomach dropped. That's the mark of the KRYTH Dominion, he whispered. Lyra stiffened. A war faction. One that seeks control of ancient technology. They're ruthless, Jace said. They've bombed colonies for less. Lyra looked at him steadily. Then they must not reach the machines. Over the next hours, the station stirred awake, unaware of the danger that had nearly killed them all. Jace and Lyra took refuge in an empty storage bay, poring over maps, engine logs, and access records. The saboteur accessed the archives from Terminal 47Z, Jace said. That terminal, Lyra replied, is connected to the exterior communications grid. Jace's eyes widened. You think they transmitted the activation sequence? I do. They exchanged a grim silence. Finally, Lyra stood. We must leave Astra 12. The Dominion ship will arrive within hours. Jace blinked. Hold on, leave. I'm an engineer, not some hero in a holodrama. You already risked your life to save your station, she said. You are more than you believe. And where exactly are we going?
To the rift, she said.
To deactivate the swarm at its source. Jace hesitated, then nodded.
Fine.
But if I get disintegrated, I'm haunting you. Lyra smiled again, That same unnervingly calm smile from when she first entered his room. Then I will take care to keep you alive. They boarded Lyra's ship, the Valerian scout vessel Sarenth, a sleek, silver craft with flowing organic lines. The interior glowed with soft blue luminescence, as though alive. Jace strapped into the co-pilot chair. Lyra pressed her palm to the control sphere. The ship hummed in response. "Coordinates set," she murmured. "Our destination, the Sarion Rift." Stars stretched into luminous streaks as they jumped into slipstream. Jace watched her quietly. "For the record," he said, "you're the first alien to break into my room." Lyra's lips twitched. "And you handled it remarkably well." He chuckled. "I thought I was about to die." "You still might," she said calmly. "But I will do everything in my power to prevent that." He turned to her. "Why me, Lyra? Out of everyone you could have chosen." She faced forward, her golden eyes softening. "Because you are not driven by glory or fear. You act because it is right. Machines that consume worlds can only be stopped by those who value them." Jace swallowed. No one had ever spoken of him like that. When they emerged from Slipstream, the Sarenth hovered above the swirling violet clouds of the Sarion Rift, a storm of plasma, dark matter, and gravitational distortions. Below, a scarred planet drifted silently. "It's dead," Jace whispered. "Not dead," Lyra corrected. "Devoured." Her sensors beeped. "The Dominion vessel is here." A massive warship burst from the clouds, its black hull bristling with cannons, engines roaring like beasts. "We can't outrun them," Jace said. "We won't." Lyra pressed her hand against the sphere. "We go down." They dove into the planet's atmosphere, flames licking the hull. The Dominion ship followed. Missiles screamed past them. Inside the storm, ancient towers pierced the clouds, dark metallic spires connected by glowing conduits. "The central core," Lyra said. "The swarm sleeps beneath it." They landed beside the tallest spire, racing into the structure. The air inside buzzed with dormant power. The floor pulsed beneath their feet. "Where's the off switch?" Jace muttered. "There is no off switch," Lyra said. "Only a failsafe. A biological failsafe." She looked at him. Jace froze.
No.
"Absolutely not. What does that even mean?" "A living mind must interface with the control lattice," Lyra said. "Someone with will strong enough to override the swarm's awakening signal." Jace stared at her. "You want me to mind link with a planet-eating machine?" "You are the only one who can," she said softly. "Because you do not seek control. Only survival." The Dominion soldiers stormed into the chamber. Blaster fire echoed. Lyra grabbed Jace by the shoulders. "Jace, now." He placed his hands on the glowing lattice. A shockwave ripped through him. He screamed. He saw stars collapsing, worlds devoured, the swarm learning, growing, hungering. But he also felt Lyra's voice in his mind.
"Jace.
Anchor yourself. Command it. Tell it to stop." He pushed with everything inside him. "Stop." The swarm trembled, then fell silent. The Dominion soldiers froze as the machinery around them dimmed. Jace collapsed. Lyra caught him. "It is done," she whispered. Hours later, as the Sarenth lifted off the ruined world, Jace leaned back, exhausted. Lyra watched him quietly. "You saved more lives today than you realize." He smirked weakly. "Yeah, not bad for a guy who just wanted to sleep." Lyra stepped closer. "And for what it's worth," she said softly, "I am glad I entered the wrong room." He smiled. "That makes two of us."